This is Jamie TKV. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of comments of if Tyson Fury fights Oleksandr Usyk, that's easy work for Tyson Fury. Based on the fact that Dan Dubois hurt Oleksandr Usyk. Was it a low blow? Was it a body shot? Check out the previous video on that one where I talk solely about that particular subject. Or if you want to hear me talk about the fight itself with Dan Dubois, check out the video previous to that. So there's 2 videos up on it. Now, inevitably, once everything calms down and people stop talking about was it a low blow, was it a body shot, did Dan Dubois quit, could he have continued in round number 9? Once all that's done, people's attention will turn to what will Oleksandr Usyk do next? Will he fight Tyson Fury for undisputed, or will he fight his IBF mandatory in Filip Hrgovic? So let's talk about both them fights briefly. Now, firstly, for those who are saying that Tyson Fury would get rid of and dispatch Oleksandr Usyk based on that performance, I mean, I don't know how many times I need to say this, and I know most people know, but I think most people just forget that a fighter will adjust his or her style based on who it is that they're fighting. So how Usyk fought Dubois, how Usyk fought Joshua, and how Usyk fought, say, Chisora and everything, and how Tyson Fury fought Dubois, White fought Derek Chisora and Wilder and so forth and so on, isn't how they're going to be fighting each other. They're going to be adopting a style that they think would benefit them against their opposition, okay? So you can't read too much into previous performances. Now, ultimately, a lot of people will say that Tyson Fury will just get on top of Oleksandr Usyk, bang him to the body, because we know that Oleksandr Usyk's weak spot, the kryptonite, is the gut, based on what happened with Dan Dubois. Now, again, check out the previous video. Was it a low blow? Was it a body shot? But we've always known that Usyk's weak point is the body. We've seen him go down before. We've seen him go down on numerous occasions as an amateur. We've even seen him go down as a pro in that as well. So it's nothing unusual that this is something that Dan Dubois has just figured out. No, we've always known this. Okay, that's why Joshua went for the body shot. That's what hurt Usyk in round number 9. But then Usyk is very good at surviving. And I will maintain that had the referee started counting when Dubois put him down, Usyk would have got up. But because the referee wasn't counting, Usyk took full advantage of it. Now, Fury is not a body puncher. That's not what he's known for. Now, I'm not going to say he doesn't throw punches to the body, and he can't. Of course he can, and he does. But that's not what he's about. He's about moving, hitting, and not getting hit. That's what he does. He waits for an opportunity to land something, and he tries to smother his opponent's work. He feints a lot and all that kind of thing. Now, I do maintain, and I've always said about Tyson Fury, that if you don't fall for the feints, you'll have a little bit of an easier time. But if you don't fall for the feints, well, you could end up walking onto something as well. So with Usyk's been there, seen there, and done it, okay? But Fury's not a body puncher. So that won't be, or very unlikely at least, to be the thing that if Tyson Fury was to stop Usyk, for example, I don't think it will be with a body shot. You have to remember, Tyson Fury is, 6'9"? He's got to come down, right the way down, to do that. And to do that, he's going to leave himself off balance and open for a counter, which is not ideal when you find somebody who's a slick southpaw like Oleksandr Usyk. Now, as far as body shots are concerned, that's more of the domain of Filip Hrgovic. Again, Hrgovic is predominantly a headhunter, but he does throw punches to the body. He's very good at it. And he legitimately hurts opponents to the body shots. We've seen it time and time again. But he is a headhunter mostly. So if anybody is going to stop Oleksandr Usyk with a body shot, it's probably going to be Hrgovic more than Fury, if that makes sense. But I do believe that Oleksandr Usyk will fight Filip Hrgovic next. Reason being is because the IBF have already ordered it. The IBF agreed to step back and allow the WBA to go next. That's the order of the rotation. That's why Dan Dubois for Usyk, right? Up next will be Filip Hrgovic. Then the winner of that fight will be the winner of Joyce and Zhang. Now, where Tyson Fury fits into this one, well, this is down to whether or not Filip Hrgovic agrees to step aside. Now, Filip Hrgovic, he said recently to TalkSport that he's not willing to step aside. He doesn't care about the money. He wants to fight. He wants the opportunity. When I done an interview with Kalle Sauerland, who is Filip Hrgovic's promoter, he also said that Hrgovic has already told him he's not stepping aside. He wants his opportunity. He wants the winner of Dubois and Usyk, which turns out to be Usyk. So I would fully expect that to be the case. Now, could there be enough coins out there to rub his palm to make him think otherwise? Possibly. Very possibly. But some people just don't care about money, as I said before. So I do believe that it will be Usyk versus Hrgovic next. And I really don't think Tyson Fury fancies that Usyk fight. Even if Tyson Fury was to win the fight, I think he's in for a hard night. At times, Usyk is going to make Tyson Fury look very, very ordinary, very, very clumsy at times. He will do that. But Fury is big enough, he's strong enough, he's clever enough, and he's durable enough, and he's got a big enough heart to maybe oversee it and come out the victor. He does. But unfortunately, I don't think he particularly believes in himself, which is why he took on Chisora last time out and why he's taking on Francis Ngannou next. I don't think he necessarily believes in himself. I think there's something going on that he's not telling people. Is his body starting to break down a little bit? Now he's trying to get as much money out of it as he possibly can before he sails off into the sunset. Again, quite possibly. Okay, or maybe he's just resting because he is carrying some injuries or he's had some recent surgeries, who knows. But I do believe that Usyk versus Hrgovic will be next. Now, I would love to be wrong on that one and say we're going to get the undisputed fight. That would be great. But as of right now, it's pretty much in the hands of the IBF and Filip Hrgovic. Again, just to clarify, unifications do not trump mandatories. It's a myth, especially when it comes to the IBF and the WBO. The WBC and WBA, they have something in theirs, but the IBF and that do not. Okay, so it is purely down to the discretion of the IBF and or Filip Hrgovic to step aside. And I think Filip Hrgovic wants that fight. And of what he's seen against Dubois, I think he may actually fancy his chances a little bit more. But anyway, that's the fight I fully expect to happen. What about you? Drop your thoughts below about it. And do you give Filip Hrgovic a chance? Do you think Filip Hrgovic could get on top of Oleksandr Usyk, stop him, or maybe beat him on points? Now, we know Filip Hrgovic has struggled a little bit with southpaws. He took on 2 southpaws his last 2 fights. Dempsey McKean last time out, before then Zhang Zhang. He didn't look great, but that's 2 tall guys. Usyk is a little bit shorter. So maybe Hrgovic, while he's doing the right thing, he's preparing for a southpaw. And he has been preparing for a southpaw. Maybe Hrgovic could be the next unified heavyweight world champion. I suppose we'll have to wait and see. There again, maybe Tyson Fury finally grows a pair and gets in there with Usyk and becomes undisputed champion. You never know. Anyway, drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.